Nsroma kwa ba opepombo some nida toso edionu baako eni enefia day Ebraso sa ensoma wodwa yaboaboa no wo my Ghana empatem afe ama wodwo so yede bebom se ensoma kase dedeo na kase fasida pieson emasra kwamino awota Jojan Renters enkonwa papa canopy papa se afia no ahie na se afia kwa wie ya baidie eye wo ho ayefro ho abedinto ho dwumedie bi a wudi no na wo pese enipa so de animonyam eba na ene dwumedie a wudi se ye yie se ya ayefro se eye dwumedie bi a obehia nkonwa canopy ene sound system ne de bomoden na Jojan Renters o ma ya sobo a wo fom yonko akotokro enka so ye wo ambulance service so wa se bia wekwa yudi hie free sukotwe adaka mu na wo pese wodi emu ni bafie ana empo wodi ko emusie bia no ni nyina fa wo mo yonko na bibia betimi akoso kama de amaw na won mada roma no na hye kwam no water so se epesi no enipa minimu awo papa enti na onya nsu a ebeboa wo eho tse na ba bia ye no ewote na wonum yede apom de bra ode a ni nyina yesra kwam no water won mada roma en wo mo eboa ye na adwumakuo foforo so kra wono so oboye chidombi BKB in God we trust enterprise so say cement iron rods hardware de ma wodo water as floor tiles eni de keka wadansie ne ma bia de hwehwe na kira kwan wo kona ne tanoduma se entem wa na ese wadansie no bibia ntimi nkonkan emfama wo na nsam na doso nanso de di akote na wobeti ne ebi ense Empenifo si ade chini ante asemfofo ayechi na asem ba kwa da ne chiapia o my Ghana wo bi edi wo nkomo eye apieti ese bogo so kwam wa kwanhia sie arewo sem papa se ehye ya yesusu se dynamite de blast from yi bi pa ena egumo ne ko wi ase eni moto bi ko di ehia edi oye ne aba free no ade o man eni ebutuo no ene ehon sem no se ena akwakosie yebebo ede ewrem yebebo rem so mpanifo bi ede nsem atudwa wo mu chema ese ne de galamsey wo beye rof ne de ede ani enne beye wo enti aban wonte nkoda mu ka sa aban kwa aban wotete nkwanche ya one self from National Democratic Congress NDC amonyokuo no wo mu kiremu a ene de kotofoforo so yi ne nkwa eti na wayi ne ti dia na ene eye hwan ene yi ne ti e wo nkwanche a ene wo no susu wonya wo be pre frank edibrede amamonyokuo yi ye ransom foforo mu a wo kirekire ni bi soso ye napiem wo court ade ya ene welfare sika teacher akodi ye be ransom foforo mu ewo edwadie kaseye mu na ewo ene ne ensem bebre nsoso a eno so baba betodwa abrantie bi wono so akobo kro no ama ho nsem so ye be ba ababedane etiefo ye be wremu ewo enigidie kaseye mu na reverend of bofo so kiremu a wono de 2022 na ni so ade hunu se wo bebo mode anana so dan obetimi atremu na aye krabehwe na bibia timi akoso agudie kaseye mu so no ye blaster former captain Samuel Jan say dako wasi dufoche ho ni pebu ni dua ho na so dako be fi mi de eti mrebe de betimi afie wa bono ni ensemu so no ye be piem wo Burkina Faso empenifo ede niema egu akwan so ni nyina ne se ye kire bi pese yi ni ti wo mahinkro ogadugu mu enti ene die ama amane ama ensem we ni afoforo ena mafuna ya chimwa mede ebesum free sabre ekosise no sia ebebo apehu sima edunonom ya mo nyina ajo emamakwa aba na kase di adencheche ewo abefo ntintam yesu YouTube Jojam 96.3 FM ya na ne yewo aba Yama etiefo akwaba yɛnhyɛ kaseɛ no ase yɛhyɛ kaseɛ no ase ɛkɔ atoyɛma ntɛm na mpanifo aka asɛm bi sɛ adeɛ kye na sɛ yɛante asɛm foforɔ na yɛkyi na asɛm a ɛfiri ɛnra ɛbɛkora ɛfrɛ ne sɛ apieti a ɛno wɔ atoyɛma ntɛm ɛne ɛbɔgɔ so kwantempɔ no asɛm a ɛfiri wɔ ba no ɛni enyan paa na ne nyinaa ɛyɛ sɛ agyapadeɛ asɛi enipa kra na tese wo nkɔ a ɛno ne hia no enipa bebree afɛm ato nananom wɔn sie do ama afoforo nso etimi eprepra na efiri ɛno ɛbɛ nyina na sɛ asɛm nyina akɔkɔ wie sɛi ka bi ɛyem ɛka no ɛna sɛ afa Jumedi anase afa adua bi aye eno no eye dynamite esusu se dynamite a eno no ene wo mo payabo wo mo etu efem agudie no wo didi wo mu ejuma ebe bibia etimi koso eno ni ntika na eba no ene se eni motor rider bi afidie titafo bi be di ahyiemu ekoko wi ase no na sa atopa ya ene ye de papa yabo wo mo papa yabo no de hyehye asase ase e papa ebi susu wo mo tu fam agudie wo mo de hyehye asase papa no ese driver ni siye eti driver ni siye no wosi omanfo munwane o na ese apieti force munwane awia gedebe no me nsei de ene sei ebi bon kontine akwa ebi ayi wo mu phone wo mu kochicha de egu abefo kwantempo so na ene yama wonum ammo ekoko wi ase no na ese bi omo bon kontine aba behwe no topa ye timi atoto dynamite timi atoto pa ama ekoko wi ase no nipa bebre ni asase paapai na ewoso na eyese enam so ma akwakwa ye arewo sempa de ama o my Ghana na empanimfo se ye di jawane ye di asoa enu nti enam so ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia o mampanyi a o Ghana mem na danko akufo na be di achu eno no na ese wasoma no se ye soma benyansafo ensoma na motentin ti wonko na wonko gina na nem ewo apieti eno atoyema ntemu na arewo semu a esie ewo empatem wo ene ye kanenti ana akato ekoko wi asie empatem wo bogo so ne empatem wo ni agese ye muomudi ayenka ene ebode ne chese nkrokro awodo nyina no aka wo mu nyina na atoyema ntema arewo semu esiye no o my Ghana nyina ena akayen enu nti Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia akopie wo na ebro kokopie wo no wo bo moden ekokọ okomiamia hodo ene wo chem sei de esie no eya asefem enti aban de tu omu nyina anim se omba womoden na wo mu a wo mu aprepro mu gu ayaresabia ene om so mo firi mu ato nanan won sie do no aban be hwe na enwanam ene eka wodo nyina no watimi afa ewo wonum edwumedie ene wo atorenchemi mu.
Men of the press, and thank you very much, members of the community who are here. A major disaster befell us yesterday, not only before the community here in Apeti, it befell the whole of Ghana, and that is why His Excellency the President, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, asked me to lead this government delegation to come and assess the situation and see what we are going to do for the people. We have come in and I have received briefing from the police, from the fire service, from the NADMO, and we have also heard from the chief. First of all, on behalf of the president and the government, we wish to express our deepest condolence to those who sadly lost their lives from this very, very sad incident. As you know, there was an explosion of a vehicle which was carrying explosives, and that was the reason why we've had this disaster. So far, we are heard that at least 30 people have died. The numbers will change as we see get more and more information. We hear that there are about 59 or so injuries, and 179 families that have been affected directly by this disaster. So government on its part is going to do everything to support the family, to support those who have been injured.
Enti Dr. Mahmoud Bawomi omampanya be de chire na wote se wakwakopiem wo apieti ene woni empanifo atwetwe ro ni apepia nkomani ntin ene kokopiem wo esanse kanenti na aka tunti no ne asi ewo apieti wo atoyemantem no eyade aka omanmu ni nyina na wiase nyina soso enya ho ensusu aso ne senti no na chese wose Ghana mampanyi na nadanko akufo ado awesa ahye na no sei wobebo moden ama enipa bi asem ni si ye wo modabre mu kra no aye mobo esanse obi wo kra no wo kwafuom ene obefrafuom beba na ebi aneba na wahye wobu wo kra no awodane dem a wodwedwe ne ho na de esi ye no akwa no esanse dynamite anasesa topa ye no anu adi ye papa enti eye maxam company fo no ene edi kokosi ye no na ese areho eti ba bia adu ne de abai bobomode no ne mpanifo awodo a ene wo mutu fama gudie ewo miamia awodo ni nyina bedi sa wo so na mmoa so a wo betimi ede aboa no animanimu ya wo matimi asisi dan ede amasafo no se de be ya wo mu asetena ebetimi akoso neno no na empanifo sa de ato edwa kiremu a ba bia adu ne de wo so manfo echi wo mu firi kronim no mkokope ba bi etena esanse obi nim bia na dynamite no ana atopa ne bi hihye ba bi ebetimi atoto a enu so di oye ne ebetimi aba.
Thankfully, the ambulance service has played a major role in the rescue. It was a rescue effort that was very well coordinated by the security services, the police, fire, NADMO, Air Force, the ambulance service, the district security, and everybody came together. That we were very
6.3 FM.
Call on 11 ambulances to come in to support this whole rescue effort that took place yesterday. And we thank the Ghana Ambulance Service for that effort. We are also looking into how to make sure that all those who are injured are taken care of. Some have been sent to Takwa, some have been sent to Kumasi, some will be sent to Accra to get the best care that we can afford them. For the houses that have been destroyed, we are already beginning to think about how to rehabilitate and rebuild for the community here. So I want to assure Nananum that His Excellency the President has given us directives
6.3 FM
to the State Housing Corporation, and with them and in consultation with the mining companies around here, we will quickly try to put in place facilities that will help those who have been displaced. So that is going to be one of priority for all of us. So just to assure you that government is fully engaged in all these processes, and we are going to see to it that the people here are taken care of. We will learn lessons, and those are going to be much later on.
96.3 FM. Nsroma
Ghana mampanyi abedi achire Dr. Mahmoud Bawomi ena ne asi wo apieti wo atoyemantem na se abo wo manyinya abo yepusa no wo bo anamo ekokopie wo no kro no enyo no nko na koye wo ne empanifo se dem di ka eka ye no enti sese no ACP kwesi ofori wo na posi sadoma wo my Ghana mo wo da enkitawudie asoye ano wo no so chirechie mo de asedapie so man sentrofo se wo mu yi asotire ententem soa na atorenchembre mu aboafo dum jadwumekuo ene aposifo wo mutimi bo anamon ebebe pie saa bia won nyina enti wo mo da ase wo bibia wo bo aye bia no wo mo de asedapie so emaye ne asie no areho nenso enipa bi mu a ena ema areho sem esiye no anyi ntireku amro se de ehu ye so.
We did yesterday. Since yesterday, when the information of this explosion got to us, we, the security services, the police, fire service, National Ambulance Service, National Intelligence Bureau, and NADMO, we quickly moving to save life and property. By so doing, we quickly intervened and assisted the injured, women, children, and the aged. That was done quickly, and the injured were conveyed to hospitals in and around Bogos. The serious ones were taken to Takwa and Okomfanoche Hospital and Kolebu. As we speak, they are recovering. The medical teams are doing everything possible to get them back to normal life. And that is a very good job done by the security service. Let me also say that following our brief yesterday at the national headquarters, through a crisis meeting set up at the National Police Department, Operation Department, led by the Inspector General of Police, we were able to update the media on what all of you did here yesterday. Today, the security chiefs are on the ground. And what I would like to say is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana arrived here today, welcomed by the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Jojo Kufu-Dampari, the Acting Chief Fire Officer, Mr. Kuno, and the General Officer commanding the Ghana Armed Forces, Brigadier General Ayisi, Amwa Ayisi. The Vice President was driven straight to the Joint Command Center located here. He was thoroughly briefed by the agencies present, notably the police, the Ghana National Fire Service, the ambulance service, NADMO, the Bureau of National Investigations, as well as the local assembly. After taking the brief, the Vice President was led by the Inspector General of Police and the Acting Chief Fire Officer and the General Officer commanding the Ghana Armed Forces Southern Command. He was taken through the basic rudiments of what happened yesterday, what the security...
ACP Kwesi Ofori Science was Subium, Emma, a Nipa woman aka, were at Renchemu, what the attitude.
After taking the brief, the Vice President was led by the Inspector General of Police and the Acting Chief Fire Officer and the General Officer commanding the Ghana Armed Forces Southern Command. He was taken through the basic rudiments of what happened yesterday, what the security officers did to assist in conveying the injured persons and general operation that impacted on the community here. Let me use this opportunity also to state that thereafter he went to the various hospitals where some of the victims were admitted. He wished them well. His Excellency, the Vice President, wished them well and also thanked the medical authorities for good job done so far. He also thanked the security services and all other partners, including the media, for drumming it up and letting authorities know of it immediately. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me state in clear terms regarding the general casualties. Officially, the ambulance service and allied agencies recorded 190 casualties. Out of that, 13 are certified to be dead. It is not 17. Rather, 4 of the injured were seriously wounded and they were taken to Okomfanoche Government Hospital. Initially, due to their condition, it was misreported that they were dead. But when they were taken to the hospital, the medical officers certified that they were not clinically dead, and as such they were admitted and treatment is ongoing.
96.3 FM. Nsroma.
Nsroma NT. ACP Kwesi Ofori wono ena posi sadom na hye hyenkita wodi onsam so wodasa asue ni to sei enipedun so a enkrofo kase wo mafiri mu no da bi enye nipedun so na eye nipedun miensa ena afiri mu na nipa nan ne de aso mote bia ne mu ode nti konfo no cha man resabia ena yede wo maba beguo na sade wo manfo hu yesa ase wo matoba ha na wo mu pra ne mu ode no eno ni nti ena beda abonte sei nipa makomakudun so na ewo no wose da bi eye nipa edumiensa ena ewo na enso se ye baako eja eno ni nti we de ya akosem enkoma adehie nyina pietifo monkafra na monkose wosa arewusem ya no ena me ne wo kasem na se bedwam chia mehene wonimonyamfo abansma na gbagwen wonam abefo ntam yesterday nkrato ama Ghana titiu ewo atoye mantem apieti se arewusem a esie are wo papa na wo kenkai David Adjom no eduasa na yimu edun wochi a wo se Erade eben akokoma ebuo na oje home anase mobrofo enkwa enu nti wo gina sa asem ne so edi nkranhye ma obi bia sei ebredri apietifo ayede pa dia mamo titiu wo mo ho aka nenso enonkwa ho akokwa na enompe ho akokwa no se Ezekiel enkom entimi ebem ema enompe no ho nyankwa dia na jesede ewo bia no ebenyankwa enti wo mo nkafra pa na areho enu nti wo kira ye mompa ye se Erade enye wo mo adoye wo mo adidie mu wo mo nsunu mu ene obi obenya emwo bi ti se enema edisi edan entade ene nema awodo no wonfa emwa se de beya bibia betimi akoso na se de baabia edru no edru enibre pa enu nti wei enye amanyosem na obi akogina ya amanyoko anabi wo se baabia edru no eye enibre sam a wo se empanifo story wakanaga na fo nyina ye bompa ye na ye boa wo mo a wo makọ awonyehiem se de beya wo makoma betimi adayie na akoma nso betimi atoyem na Erade beye rechichefo de ama wonum.
96.3 FM.
Na ye kombatem wa Pristia Huni Volley penyi kwanchefo atorenchen bremu ene wo boa pa wo wono na arewosemi bai wo mudi akire Owura Francis Abeiko na Owura Francis echira wo mabomodin a wo hwa aba na msini a wo wono a ene papai wo boa maniema nyina atimi akoyie enti enam ne moa ene mpanifo awodo bi emoa so ene wo mo ana wo mabo adwuma aba besi enei enunti wo muguso a obi bia ne ho aka ene adan awodo aka nyina no wo mo kenka na mwa bia wo mo de aye won
ya no a banka penyi bono mo de enya pa bi me lokiti o mo ina de ko Roman Palace wall e wo bogo so na ewie nso o pedi o mo ala pa enye ni mere ye ka sai smile company to be abaye moa e mo mpanyi abaje kire Dr. Baomu Mawia abaha nso abaye moa kete mate eni nadma ye aba mo ina ka bo mo mpanyi ko bi abako de papa abaye ni tete pa dia boa o mo ye president ye na shakato akafuwa yan pa mo bra metinya kase e mo mpayi ni na pedi eze ape no o makata no twala mo aba ni de boy de na me kan se wa no e ba ya be MC bo no mo de e mai e boa kwa no me kunya be ke tu ina e ko e bra po e do mo ko hospital o mo amu from de do mo ko mo sere ti ni kase salon de na eye na how be answer de ni na en mo e de ba no ti de individual so e boa papa edi nyoma bae but not much cool any NC akagomu yakata hospital ye ni afisia don de enye ne ya na nipa no onya amoa ye nya de amoa na ba to bi obetimi da ba betele ba boy ena me ka so ma ya be de so aba abe na do bo amoa di nyoma de de travel de betna ka te ebi wa company money company individual ya so nte almost 5 months according to this month according to the ya locate ebi o mo seda da no na wo tu bi akwata
96.3 FM.
Anyone be on for the Kawaii, Abua, what is the almost a way I look at your market here. You can say, Usman Wordiane, or the applications are almost Wordiane at the moment, almost and running in if you do almost see Udis Kamaya, more oil, Manchester, your betty, Elbray and Sua, your betty, but where CBCR treated me at the poor man, Pakistan, AFFF, on the more wine, the betty of Papa. At the moon in your market can be the poor my fear, and the man so much.
96.3 FM. Nsroma.
Enti atorenchen bremu aboa for panyi kwanchefo a Pristia Huni Volley mensi no wada no wo atoyeman temu onimunyamfo Francis Abeiko nene ena wote ye nti asemi de yare wosam a efri enra nyina no ene ye Ghana mampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama wono so abefo ntintam yeso wode yakọ ene jese enkranhyesem ama adehia womo ewo kro yi so na ese de asie no areho eti mpanifo nyina womo se ka nantia na akato eti arewosem ena asi ewo hono na Prisia woni volumensi no ayese apieti eshemi wona aban krache wonmunyamfo Isaac Dasani papai ediatu edwasei sebe anwans na wontie futuo ene yedi ni siefunu na arewosem yi ba no ene wo hwa na hyenke ya na se ehyen ya omususu se atopa ye na egumu a ebra na ekro no na posia na bamboni di ekire enti mpanifo no ebra moto ni kwakọ hye ka na se ne ni kodi ehyiemu no wo mu dwane kokrom se omanfo nwane o na enso asobrache ene ye kope ade ni bia hye yesi agro na ebe ofie mo nkontene nkonkohye na we di omo bo nkontene kokohye na enso so no yesi abofra no nkwa afichire wakọ aboate aka nti ye Pedro enye so na emom no daachi asem bi nti no mo ema de asie enkonko yese daachi bi asem kosi wo baabi na obi kọbọ nkontene ene yese ehye kra na ebi afa ngugum na ehyiegu na eje tom ye nwane no afa na obi afa ade wọkọ akoso bi wose Ghana fo enchi omhun from free sa esu ene ban ne ho.
Actually unbearable. Looking at the whole village has been ripped off, and then there were some dead bodies and a lot of people were injured. Buildings have collapsed. So immediately men came, fire service from Takwa, from Pristia, some came from Marseille Propon, and we also got some military men also came to the scene to support, and then the police also came. And then we have a lot of people on the ground that were able to put the situation under control. Now the road, we have been able to create an access road, and then if you look at now, traffic is moving slowly, but we are also praying that maybe tomorrow we'll find a way of fixing the road so that the traffic can move. An eyewitness, it's like the truck was moving and it was crossed by a motorbike also, and then it hit the motorbike and then motorbike later fired. So the driver got down and then he was telling people to run away, and and some people were also trying to find out what was really happening. While the driver was shouting that people should run away. So I think it happened, and around about 10 minutes time the whole thing exploded. So people who were trying to rush to the scene were the people who were mostly affected. And if you look at some of them were in critical condition. As I speak to you right now, we have sent about 3 of them to Kumasi, and then some people were also referred to Takwa. And for now, we have about 17 dead bodies. Initially, they sent some, but some of them were treated and discharged. So we have set up a relief center, as I speak to you. So I'm now dealing with the military president. We want to have a meeting, and when we finish, I've also put some people in charge to take care of the affected ones. Probably tomorrow, they will find some permanent place for them to stay. You can look around, because it's night, you may not see it. But the whole place, the whole, community is gone. All the roofs have been ripped off. And then if you look at some of the buildings too, they have also collapsed. And sometimes you might see some block building, they have all collapsed, and some of them were in their rooms, and then they were trapped, and they were able to rescue some of them. Some of them, unfortunately, before we rescued them, they had already gone. So in fact, it's a very sad situation for me today. So I've been here since afternoon up to now, and so we are still here and then assessing the situation and making sure that at least every affected person is taken care of. Some of them too were not even around when the incident occurred. Yes, and some too also ran away. But if you look at the way the whole thing happened, some of them were actually in their rooms. Those who were in their rooms, they were within because they didn't hear what was happening. Yes, but some people also ran away. And then if you look at the whole situation, you realize that those who were in the room and the people who were also trying to rush to the scene when they were shouting, when they explode, something happened, the typical of our behavior. Instead of us to probably inquire whatever has happened, some people want to rush to the scene and see what has happened. And I'm sure that was the reason why those who rushed there were met to the gas. And
96.3 FM. Nsroma.
Enti abai kracha wo Christian woni volumensi mu eyo onimunyanfo Isaac Dasmani nene ana wuti ye na arewusem ya esie na ese ayeti se santrofia anoma no ene ye wofa no a wafa musuo wugya no so a wagya asade eyefo na ekasei Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council GPCC for na echese atopa ya wodo a yedidi dwuma se yeditu efema gudie se yede epapai abo awodo no sa ade eya na edurubere bia anu ede papa ehu ehia edi ewunso enu nti wose empanifo bomodin a titu abambofo no se omo de kɔ emiamia awodo a womu ebetimi ama enhyehyeye ne bambo pa etimi edi eche esanse kwa akofa baabi a enipa bodom pema na kura enipa titim bebre saa no a bibia betimi asi enu nti se womo kɔ a womomodin aso metimi ape abambofo na womatimi edi echire se de beya ene enipa nso a woka hye no wobetimi akoboko no nkotumi katenten na enkofa woyene entimi emma na no na empanifo echire mu dia asemu ya esie no asefem na areho wei eye abakosem a omai Ghana ebeye kutwa adani de nyina no ye boso a yebetimi akaye enti asorfo eni mpanifo enimdifo woduo nyina ede wo ma no atwumu a wo mu chemu se empanifo momodia no mumpe ekwan bi so a ene wo mbetimi di afa se mpo kura no wo mfa nkofa akwantempo so no de befa baabi kura no a ebeboa kura no a eye ewurem baabi ene keteche kwan bi so ana ewiem hye kura bi a eno no ye fidie tia wa bi a na se chese kwan bi a enkofa kwan kase bi so kura na empanifo nhye na wo munye sense yede sa atopa ye sa etimi di ewusa ebefa kwantempo mu o se de enura esi ye ewo sa kuro no so no ene mpatem wo nyina toye mantem ene apie tini mem ya hodo no chese eyade a esi ye ene na anu wo nyina no fu ye nkosha eno so tanka bi ekowi ase na ese fanwa ewom no etimi apai ameno so kroi edani ebutui enti we nyina ya arawosem a ewosem mpanifo hye na bambo titiu efa fanwo ene sa topa ya wodo edidi dwuma no wo mbetimi ahye nhye ya mpanifo ebetimi ede afan
96.3 FM Nsroma
yemura enwuma suemu kakra ne yebora enwuma suemu a asamba kwa efri na wochi a echemu eba na wochi yemu adani chiapia ne omai Ghana wobia ewie eyese enwuma sua asue ye ede enhye foforo aba yenim se enkwadai ene nka afibia no wom ko school mu emprensa wom di kai kodi edika yedi bro nya chiwi a wom kwa na wom amakwan abefie na wom bie school no omukọ na wo masa akoma kwan no masa akọ na ese mprensa wo afimu ene wo mutimi ekro ye kwada sori ya enwumasua asueye Dr. ya osei educhim wono ne so afọ hwe enwumasua honsam so woni panyi kwanchefo a Ghana Education Services so wata ano Professor Opoku Amankwa woni empanifo ya bejoku hwe enwumasua honsam so eni ekua wodo wo matena se edensesaye abase sese ne de wo mo bekọ ne semesters eni basic school no JHS for kra ebi ahyase ese no wo mo edi free primary esa aba be si JHS a sese no wo mo eba be kono semesters ese ye aban school no enye konto credit e aban school nko a asemi ban na Ghana fo bi si aferi aden achechefo bi kra achese wo mo ntiase na ejekum kra etiase yeso wo saman no akwakodan samampom enkodai kra no wo mo ko school be boso me miensa kra no ene wo mo kakra no wo mamunemu na wo manim nenso so ene wo mo ba be koma akwa busumi nsia ansa no mo be makwan no masa be koda busumi nsia na esa afe busumi makoma kodumi yenu no wo mo ba be koni mpirenu de ene nkwada na fe no mo be jai kra ma ba ni suade hu se enwomasua ebetimi akoso kese no ene emmemu enu ni nti Nsroma kase dedew yate simonte so abomodin ama achechefo yeni ebie kodi nkomo ene awofo bi ni esukufo na abi nsuso na ansa na no yenkotie achechefo ni bi se anye bi aginasie ebeboa ana emwa
Jim Sadabo sem stand emwa yenti emwa ne se emofra no omusa of kindergarten be si we bia class 3 kra na Kurani sana schools ni bi wa kurana feeding program ye dey eni wo kaya dia nka feeding program ye no Ghana ba bia dia akwani semo benya aduana ye dey edi mi school for instance say ye nye feeding ni bi wo o kira de wi na bobe kwani ko second break baron ba class ya o kira mo ade a say accommodate me nti ende emwa na say kwa ko sim 6 months 6 months ade emwa nkra no na ye na ka teachers so emwa ye because abana mo yangu say untumi ye teacher adwuma mfa ye dey emfa nye yi na say kwa no sa de ye working hours ni bia da ka ho abe sika bia ni wa e dey aba be ka ho ezen say Ghana ni kamafo bi obe dey obe ka ma enti ye da sole na obi ad na asem ope na ode aba betu so tie de emwa ye nkon dada na
with the Fred me de kabenya dada ni emfa dada no pa ne bebo aye se bia me bebe am woyi se de me nua di ka kan no ye no feeding program be yen den ebi nuo so ati ase ebi nuo enti ebu a wo cha akra na de ebi o mako break aba wo cha akra na de o to a na ready say me comment me say okra bu okra me anam say botum ska class de ma akra say monyina monye de bia mo fa nkoto aduane ye de eni enti me de emwa because they say me no mo ile wo ma so ati ase ana aside and so me say dey job bi kakra ja mitimi no so ye de hwe me ne me ma textbook crampo my it's no here
96.3 FM Nsroma bia
ai enti bomo chichi wo free so ase ebe ka che so den chem ewa ye nyina chi a chechefo no na wote so mo de sem to just say sa semester eyi afi ba ko mbekọ nimprenu no emwa ene ebi say school for no say bia mo de money ji wa che ene school for no so a kire wo madwene
Di maso sa bramba ye pedada na first semester no ko be tremo ache
Cynthia Alan Stephen ye pedam na first semester ye pedada na emno de be tremo sa
ye pedam ye first semester term no kula ye hu so na semester ni be hu so yan ko ne term na
96.3 FM Nsroma bia
enti ngwana se mo pandada no a enti ebisa awofo se eja mo na bibi ne nwoma ahodo ne akade bi eja mo be ye chiginafo mbepia mo ma no anya bi anhyehyeye yi munyini se ebeboa ne ne mbai kokora na muso benya ho akwa akodi mu pa wo muso de wo nsam tuja
ama eboa sa semester ne pa de nyanim no krani enye emwa ye ma ne kire se omo kon the time no kra na no mo ko di 3 months of school no ade ne nya na HS for ni timi try omo e na ise ni nyina akọ na HS for ni timi try enkra no do say no mutimi sua omo ntimi na sa ade 3 months e be ka ho omo kwa akọ ne semester ne na me anu kwena na ade wa anya ade so on your pa on kan chese school wo twa school mu ni amfia mankosu adwuma na sa me ba be ko school 6 months no be banas wa hunu hwe de ne nem de ko to adwuma mu a fa so wo so eno je na ado ne nkro for mun shono nya bibi mfa ho na
96.3 FM Nsroma bia
ai tiene awofo bi so nti de se de nyina atwa kwa wie sei emwa enti mpanifo nhye na wo munya bibi emfa ho nti akoye ensempi ewo omai Ghana mu yemura ensemfo from yebora ensemfo mu a asamba ko a eho apaso ewo omai Ghana ni ncho ne ncho aso eni se na anu ada ne ebena da nima asem a esi wo ho no na je se esewani ensa wo kacha aso maye twasini na ukohwe enipa dasani ekuo pa ene gangsterism we se chesa me na me den we se me medi aduro we se me na me ho odin enti emrantie mienu a wo matete ekuo komoji dodo na efren Ibrahim Hussein ena bombom wono so dodo na efren Ali Awudu emrantie mienu na ese ekuo akese wo matete no wo modeda no enti awia gede enom so mo kokyere ombobre ewo ni me ye bro no won kramantiamu ekoko wi ase na enie etututo ene sikantwe etimi akoso a apolisifoɔ de bebetu dwa no magige akodi ahodo de afiri sankrofo no kowi ase na kyese empenifo mo da ekoya no wo matimi atupia de afa agyan a wo mo etimi adwane na no na apolisifoɔ eche mo di sika Ghana sika no empim aduonu 20,000 Ghana cedis aka ne 200 million wo pepe ahenu wo mo di atu etiri so se obi bia wo behu sa enkrofo no wo mo yi wo masutira wo mo di kan echi enipa enso eno mo che wo masa akwachi enipa foforo ewo nkrampatem wa de ababe ka hu bia akodi eye apolisifoɔ eniema eni etuo ne niema wodo so wo mo gi edi free wo mo ho na sa asemi ena panyi kwanchefo a wono na hwenkita wodi onsam so edi ma New Patriotic Party NPP amnyugo no wonmunyafo Ahaji Kama wo che sei asemi de apolisifoɔ wo mo nim ba bia akromfo no wo mo shepa wo mo na bonten no meka no kre no na sebe asem no ayi se katasum mu aso eni hwebu adabi na wo mo ye wo mo nim ba bia wo mo ewo so mo ka so mo nim ba bia wo mo wa wo mo ti ase enye yie enu ni nti wo mo momodia na wo mo ntimi enhwe ba bia enkrofo no wo se de be ni animanimu ya wo metimi ache wo mo de wo mo aba anye sa Ghana fo ente asem no ase
96.3 FM Yashremebia.
Yashremebia ni MPM wo Asantemantem ye PM wo Asantemantem a na Dr. Kwabnadufo wono na akane no ye fotosamfo de ema NDC amanyoko no abandada abreso ene papa no wabo adwuma pa na bo a wabo adwuma no ene wayiniti se nyankopon eya adoma na National Democratic Congress chiniye amanyoko no wo mo kwa akoto ba de yi Frank Tuni wo mfempem yenu ne aduonu nan ya wono so sefata ene e wodi ni hu etu enseniasi a wo hu se wono so sefata bi se e wo so okọ na wono so kokogina emiyeto ne so aba na iso omampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama wono so ayini tinto ababe ka ho ama na yemienu na yengwangwangwati a aka ne Kumase ene emeyo wono eyonmunyamfo kwadwobonsu papa iso eyensemu a emire bi ne adidi atenteche na enenam enfremo mase bokoboko ene woni sechofo achichi enkomo ama wono so eyiniti se nyankopon eya adoma mfiempim yenu ni aduonu nan no obetimi aba na wetimi aba be pre Frank difo egwa ibi de ama NDC amanyoko no empokra no ene eba beto ogya mfiempim yenu no dunsia se papa yi wayiniti ema afe kra no esa aba bede eje se mfiempim yenu ni aduo no na ensu ni nyina no na eya asem a na nokro bia enhyeda enimu enti ene no soso eya nokre anase enye nokre no so akoye nkomodi a omemu obia twetwa nani na utwamu a ekuokuo ejina sa anye bia aka ni Kumasi meyo onmunya foko jobonsu wo ba na wo ba o fans ana eno so aya sensebe na enso so no ene yenyina nkra ni mututu nkra ni enti emre no so a ede ebehu ba bia esosoan ede bo de hu no ebefa
96.3 FM
abai eswai ko se ene galamse si ebe nam kwati kwan so etufom agudie yensuo yakwaye ye besen ne de enya de obeso so kra wo oman Ghana mu enu ni nti abambofo bomodia ama anti galamse wo mo abomode ama Brigadier General Joseph Apo edi wo manim amansie fifi mensim wasantemantem wo mo akọ na emfidi awodo ye chamfa efidie totototo ibi ene excavators no wo matimi agi chamfa no aduokononkon ema excavators so aduonum no mo kira ne nyina wonom asay no
where these recalcitrant illegal miners quickly return back once they know that the military are no more there. But I believe that we'll chase them to wherever they are and we'll ensure this operation once the military high command gives us the mandate to sustain this operation and continue as much as we can to ensure that our lands, our river bodies, and then our forest reserves are cleared. It's also worth mentioning that since our deployment yesterday, we have been very successful in our operations and we will continue to press hard until we flush out these illegal miners from our rivers and then our forest reserves. Furthermore, the operations in due course will be extended to other regions within the command. That's the Bono region,
6.3 FM.
and the Afro regions. That is when higher command gives us the authority. I want to use this opportunity to reach out to the indigenes of Obuasi, Central and the South Amasa area to help us, because this destruction, of course, goes deep into their own hearts. They are the people who are suffering most. If the rivers are all choked, the forest reserves are all choked, they don't have farms, it is they who will suffer more. So I want to appeal to the indigenes to support us in this particular operation.
96.3 FM, Nsroma.
Nsroma, Brigadier General Joseph Apo, ono ena anti-galamsey ekwei wodi enimu ene womkodi se adwuma na odi nsema wodo etu ejano yeremu nsefofro mu a ene adaje eni eposo kra wo cheche ni bia ni din ene Ebenezer Hammond onye emfinhia aduanan ennan wo cheche ni na soa yehye papa ama Adenta Circuit Court wakwa akogina egwam na bra okogina egwam na dwemtene ni tina egwam de ma court no Uraire said the nam awo baloka watina egwamu no wama abrantie ni bill na Ghana sika no empem aduosia ene adansefo miensa ansa na wo gina so ede ama abrantie Hammond no bill no na ni nyina ene se abrantie yesi wo ye chechweni a ene Orients Complex School Welfare Association ene no eye foto anase ku omate ede ebo suku ne ho ebra enu ni nti na wo chechire ni wonu pa ena eben a akane no na wo chrochro ede masa ekuo no na ekoko wi ase no na wasua headmistress ene afei wo bi a wonu susu ehwe sika no so wasua wo mo signature kwan fa so etimi sign no enti wabomodin a ede akwakoyi sika emprensa so de edika no wo yi sika no Ghana sika no empim num echiripo ahenum ena osa akoyi empim yenu ahenum wo wieye no na osa akoyi empim wo ha eni echirei enti abrantie sa welfare account foto wo mo abo ede bosuku ne ho ebra no eno na abrantie no tese wo no wode ahweasia aye na no asase anyanwam a wo sori a wodidi ewo mu ekowi ase no ena dako suku na anu ni ene headmistress no obo omodin sei wo beko akwa akoshe account num na wotimi dia ba bebu enkonta a kire omanfo nyina ne nkofo timi wo sei sebi ni timu fain tinti amoa enkunu no magine di ewo na dwuma pa wo ye ewo suku mu wo ekoko wi ase no okoye sikai na ese efemfram obomoden ekoyi aposifo asutire na ekoyi aposifo asutire no ene osusu se nyu obi a na beko sika ne ho eye abrantie Ebenezer Hammond no wono a ene betimi edi se adwuma no eno ni nti enam so ama wo bra mkoko pie mu court no na inspector nyako wona de nsem ni nyina ede ebo court na dwemtine ni Uraire said the nam wotie nsem ni nyina no wagina so ama abrantie ni bill wo Ghana sika empem eduosia eni enipa miensa wo so ababema ni bill no na asem no wabo ne ben ede akoshe ojefo bosome ne da etoso eduonu nan se wo mo beba na wo mo asan edi asem no
96.3 FM.
Wokoto ensensemi ya no abrantie bi a ye friend se John Edu wono so wetimi abomoden akwa wia electricals honiema na ese nyama wode enuma be omudidi dwuma ne buo no eso papa na ni nyina no eye Ghana sika no opepem wo ha ene ese abrantie no wetimi akwa wia na Accra Circuit Court akwa asetena wo mo ekọ asetena no wo mo kiremu a chire no wosa akoko wie bi ewo baabi no so ne buo no eye opepe wo ha chiripo edu baako ena abrantie sa akoko wie ye enti abrantie John Kwesi Edu a wonye emfinhia aduonu enso no wotiwei wokọ to a yede entense ni nyina bo no wo bra wo panyina wono ene kasa wokọ to wokọ edubofo onmunyamfo Wisdom Alowu wode ensem ni nyina eto wokọ to anim no abrantie sei wono de wotiwei woni asem ni mu efo eno mbisa ne se de enti no ni asem ni mu efo no na ebra onimonya for wisdom alowu wo cheche nsem ni mu che court no eno wo che se ebobo so me ne de na etosu emienu wo mfiempe mienu ni aduonu baako no ene se abrantie no wo mo emman ehyen bi a na se electrical materials se wonko no momodia no wonko ton na wo meye sales ofankoma customers e wo kofodua abrantie ekoyi a ene television kasamfonyi ne bi ewuo mu ene niema awodo bebre no etimi ewuo mu a abrantie koba ya wono aba ma mebu enkonta ene esesika no wo ye ne basa wotimi dwane ye ene nam so ema aposifo ebo omode a womo etimi akwakoche no enti asem no womo abo ne ben se wongongoche aposifo kokomu na nyankopon ya adomojefo bosome de to so edunum no na won samra ewo afiye mu na womo ntoa na seni eso yenwram wo adwadie kasie mu no ena onimonyamfo samo abuginapo so afo hwe ensa senimu adodode wonsem so wodi ensem bi atu eja ewo enkramantem a wo chem sei aban ebomodia se wo mbetimi abo foto na foto no National Reclamation Fund eno no eba beboa ama enkrotuo ene miamia wodo a yetu FM agudie na kwakwa wiase no ene wubehu na amna donko na edaho no na asase bi wo so na etimi asei na ensuansu bi atimi asei ni nyina no wo mo de saa foto no eba be siesie ensase a yetu foma gudie o mu ani eja wo ho ene miamia wodo se de be ya enkrotuo anamantem ene miamia wodo yetu foma gudie no wo metimi afa wo ntoma pa ne wo masomdue efra.
Parts of the southern part of our country has been degraded as a result of illegal small-scale mining, and the president is taking the view that we work to reclaim these degraded mined-out sites with all the attendant consequences, as we all are very familiar with. So essentially what we're trying to do is to have this massive reclamation effort across the country. And this is an example. This is just one of many other reclamation which we are going to make across the country. There are two important matters that I want to communicate to you. The first one is that the law as it stands now is such that when small-scale miners excavate for purpose of mining, they are required to reclaim the land and revegetate the land within 30 days after excavating. When that happens, you get yourself into this kind of situation. They excavate the land and they move on to excavate and they move on to excavate and then leave behind these degraded mined-out sites, and the taxpayer then has to cough up money, as you can see now, for government to reclaim the lands. I think it's a wrong arrangement, and therefore we are going to be insisting on concurrent reclamation and revegetation, which is that when you excavate, you reclaim, you revegetate before you move forward. I also think, and secondly, that we will require a national reclamation fund, and at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, we are beginning to interrogate the concept or the framework or the mechanism within which we can have a national reclamation fund. Because as you can tell, the work involved is enormous, and therefore we need to find an intelligent approach of setting up a national reclamation fund which will give us a pool of funds to be able to reclaim the already mined out sites across the country. Of course, we have to go to cabinet. Of course, we have to look at the law and look at the legal regime as it exists and find a clever way of either amending the law or passing a new law.
Enton monyanfo samo abuginapo soafa ohwe ensase enimu adodode wonsam so nene na wuti ye yenwura agudie kasie mu a na akane blasters wo captain ene asamwajan baby jet enti ibako no abrantie ene ne nsentrofo atwetwe nkomo ode to nsentrofo enim sei wono wati wei o wa bomodia amenfisi aduasa ensi a wanya no wo gina ne na so pa bo blaster pa wo share blasters emfiempi mienu ne aduonu ba kwa o no ogina ne na so yie papa na he ennepa no ene na anu akose penalty yankofo twa na da pay ene baby jet wa akose penalty ene bedane efini obi ayese asamuo sai ejai wa akose penalty wato obi edi ne batem ko so wanim sai asamuo ejai wa sai penalty wo sei na no boy ye omko boy atente wo boy ye omko ye a seminim so ma bedro se wo mu gina Cameroon wo sei a wonim se daache wo wani suade hunu sei wo bebo moden na Ghana Black Stars no watimi aba be ye coach enti wo bom paye se na ni suade hunu ebetimi abem na waba be coachi ama bibi akoso ama Ghana Black Stars.
96.3 FM.
Eni jidi akasie mu no Reverend Obofo na se Reverend Isaac Entry Ejei dodo na friend Obofo wono soso eja afibia obi asim wo wonani suade hunu won na Anointed Palace Chapel General Overseer eno no wochira na se wo bompa ya se afi wo betimi enya enkrabata be se apem ede aka na hye ya wo my Ghana mu a eno be se ahasa eni edioso enwoche 378 branches eya na so enkrabata wo my Ghana mu no wo bomode se wo betimi edibi akeke ka ho no wetimi ahye akra pa ede ama onyankopon enu ninti wo hye ne nsore no a wo mo bomode a se enne no wo betimi abie na wachi akra enti obi amomoden na wono so enchi akra emfa ema onyankopon.
96.3 FM. Nsroma.
Yenye kase ni nyina wo amononi ensem Burkina Faso maimo e won ye kwekuo bi ye from civil society movement na sa ekuoi wo mayomadwen se nyame ya admo okire memne nkomba abaye ye kire na ye kire ni edin e wo se save Burkina na ese yenye Burkina na wo mo kira na Burkina niema ekoso e wo mahinkro wo gadugu mu no enhyeda nkoyie kura wo manimu ayeden enu nti wo mo poso wo mo ti ewsi emonte so na ene wo mampanyi Christian Kambori wo mu etimi kire ne sei said ye wosi ekro no niema enkoyie enti wo hwe na nanima no ho so se wo da won so nyina wo na wo ma niema nyina enkoyie na no na abambofo empanifo bi owura Christian Charles wono eden Christian Charles Rumba wode na no ato ensemi sei asemi de omo kwan a enye yie esanse wo mo ma sa nkrofo ya kwan emfie mpemienu ne aduonu baako emom kokoye ye kyewe na ese obubu obusumi de toso aduonu nso emfie mpemienu ne aduonu baako ekowi ase na omo ne abambofo de esi ani amanipa bebre afem eprepra amebi so ato na nan wonse do enti wo mo emma de asie ebi ensa entoaso ehunu bi penti na bo asewa wo gye ne bagra na wayi nani ede ato enchen enu nti wo mo nhwe ma de asie ne bi nsensi biem enti wo mbebo mo mode a se wo mu besi ano ekwan na wo mo kira na ano eni asamadansie ni wo no utwa asem na ebi na ade ayedansie ukokopiem ewo malia ni ekokosi wo no mo no ebra wo mampanyi wo mu si ni suo eye kira wodo a ene di oyenne eba ye na abantugu etimi aba ho nti wo mo nhwe ma saa ye kire no entimi nkoso nti unia wonti ase a ene obetimi akoshepo.
96.3 FM. Nsroma.
Yenyina ensemi so kase de beso ni nyina yemfa ni nyina emra awieye ensem bebre na eto eja ne ewo agudie mu omamu ensemu amanone ene anigidie mu nyina ye de beso mu fase de pieson emma aban area mine akwasi brobe teacher brobe no ene de wanfa ne space na ama fase de pieson ma no afama so de hye de bruce wono so move ibese mutao wono so ewa ha papa woka ho ejeni mboaten wo mu nyina eka ho ene news team ni nyina anafi atakosu Leticia wo mo ka ho ena mafuna ya chumwa mena mede ensem ni nyina so etimi ebaba besomo na me sorry suidie na asade pie son enko emfa ema obibia na me ka wo say nyankopon eya adoma ene anwumre so one program na beba no odo akwantuo ebaba wakwem nenne agokansie bia enhyeda eni wonomo enti no na se enne no omode ye warm up omode ye warm up ama bibia timi akoso nenne ye pastor omono asamwa one of your panel members no ewo mampatem enhwe program so ye panel member nti oka ho binti efiafo nyina ye say ye ma happy birthday erade wo ma nkwatenten wo ma wonyinchwe wonom na bibia entimi enkoso emfa emma opapa yes sorry sweet na se enchia kase enkoma obibia se da pie so enso enko ema enwumako a wo mobo ye chidom ema ye di dwumadie nyina ebremu me sorry so na dwumadie enkai ni nyina atoa mo so mafuna ya twemu a me mamu nyina monitia ogimenyado
6.3 FM.